Hi there. It's Mark here with another episode of Coin Collecting with Mark. So I'm going to show you today my Canadian nickels. Now I have coins from all over the world. I have a lot of American nickels, that sort of thing. And I'm going to show you just my Canadian collection. So all these coins I'll show you today are all nickels, and they're all Canadian. Now the reason I like nickels is one of my favorite coins because they're kind of chunky. They're big and chunky. They're kind of benign and just something kind of nice about them. They're quarters are kind of big, dimes are very small, but nickels are just kind of the right size. They're kind of cool. Now they weren't always that big. When these were first started being minted back in the 1800s, the late 1800s, and this one's from 1914, they were a lot smaller. I'll see if I can show you how big that is. They're actually smaller than a Canadian dime. See, that a Canadian dime is actually quite a bit bigger. And so they're actually known as fish scales because they were so small. And they, like I said, they're very tiny. They had a nice look to them, very nice, but very small. So along comes the bigger coin, which is in 1922 is the first year that we had a bigger coin, which is the same size as the nickel we know today. It's got King George on the back there, King George V. But it's a nice looking coin as well, and they had these for years, from 1922 up until 1936. So I've got quite a few of these. They're, like I said, very, very nice to look at. Very interesting. Got the maple leaves on there. And this one's in pretty good shape. I don't know if you can see that, but, pretty good shape nonetheless. But So 1937 was the first year that we had the beaver. Now the beaver, the reason we have a beaver on our nickel is because the beaver is actually our national animal. And the beaver is actually quite responsible for, in its own way, for our Canadian economy getting started back in the 1600s, because beaver pelts were high in demand, and they were fur trading was huge back then. And there was a company called the Hudson's Bay Trading Company, which dealt with fur trading and a lot of beaver pelts, that sort of thing. And that company was started in the 1600s, I think 1670, and they're still around today. They're not known as the Hudson's Bay Company anymore, even though that's their full name. They're just known as the Bay. And we have a store in town here called the Bay, and that's what it is. It's that same store. It's been around for all these years. I think it's one of the oldest stores in, well, definitely in Canada, but I think even in North America, one of the oldest stores in North America, if not the oldest. So it's been around a long time. Okay, so, and the beaver, of course, is a very industrious animal. And so that's why it's on our coin. So, okay, so let's move ahead here. So from that point on, from 1937, even up until today, we still have the beaver on there. If you take a coin from 1937, well, actually, I'll just show you here from 1937. It's still the same as a coin today, basically. So now let me see here. We'll just move along. So now from 1922 to 1936. The coins are pretty much, all nickel. From I think around 1940s from the 20s to the 40s, they were about 99% nickel. And then I think from 55 to 81, they were nickel as well. But in between them, around wartime, they started using different materials. One was a material called tombac. Tombac is kind of like a brass, tombac brass. It's a mixture of, I think it's 80% copper and 20% zinc, but it's a whole different color. It's the color of brass, kind of that yellowish brown color, like something you see on a musical instrument, that sort of thing. And they started minting coins with this particular material because they needed as much nickel as they could during wartime. So, okay, so anyways, I'll just show you what that looks like. It's got the, this one here has a beaver on it. This is from 1942. It's still got the beaver. And at this point, we've got King George VI on there now. But here we have the V for victory. And King George VI on the back again, but V for victory. Now this one here, this is from 42. These are both from 42. So one is the regular nickel and one is the tomback brass. So now here in 1944 we got plated steel, chromium plated steel. It's the same thing, got King George VI on the back. And then we've got the V for victory on the front. Okay, so it was like that all through wartime. Come 1946, we're back to the beaver. Now you notice how these coins have 12 sides to them. They start out being round, then they went to 12 sides. Eventually they go back to being round again. Now, 1951. These are both from 1951. And one is a commemorative coin. It's got that smokestack on there. From 1751 to 1951. Once again, King George VI on the back. This has King George VI. There we are. Now, I'm not sure when they started putting Queen Elizabeth on there. I think it was 1954 was the first year with Queen Elizabeth on there. So they had Queen Elizabeth on there. She's not wearing a crown. Looks like she might have some ribbons in her hair or something like that. This is actually a low mintage coin. And this is rated MS60, so it's it's in very good shape. Not quite mint condition, but pretty close, so it's in very good shape. Here's a coin that's MS64 from 1955. Oops. Very good shape. It's just an excellent shape. And of course, 1957, very good year. Very good year. And I'm sure you know why. Okay, put that back in there. And we keep on going, 60, 61, 62, 63. Here's something interesting. 1967 was our centennial from 1867 to 1967. Canada was now 100 years old, and we commemorated our coins. This one here is in beautiful condition. It's got the rabbit on there. All the centennial coins from 1967 featured animals. And this nickel is very nice. I like that rabbit on there. It looks very good. 1970, this coin is MS67. It's mint condition, and it's a low mintage, 1970. So it's not overly valuable, but it's quite sought after. Like I said, it's not only a low mintage, but it's in mint condition. Beautiful condition. Okay, so on we go. So as you can see, we're back. We have been back now for a while, back to the round coins. We went from the 12-sided coins back to the round coins. I guess I kind of skipped that there, didn't I? Because in 59 we still had the round coins, or pardon me, the 12-sided coins. We still had them up until 63. So 62 is the last year with the 12-sided coin. 63 was the first year when we went back to being round. So they were round back then. Okay. Now, and through the 80s, pretty much through the 80s, from about 55 to 81, they were still using nickel. After that, it was mostly nickel with copper. Now the last few years, the coins have just been mostly steel-plated, a mixture of a little bit of nickel and copper, but mostly, steel, I think nickel-plated with a mixture of steel and copper. So let me see what I got here. Oh, 1998. Oh, here's something interesting. This here has a Winnipeg mint mark. Canada has two mints. The Royal Canadian Mint has two branches, the Ottawa Mint and the Winnipeg Mint. And this one has a Winnipeg mint mark on it from 1998. And this here is just the regular one from Ottawa. There's really no difference except this one here has a W on it. Hard to see. I'm not going to bother showing you because it's so tiny. You won't be able to see it anyway. And here's something kind of interesting. The year 2000. I have 3 nickels right here to show you. Now, Winnipeg Mint mark. P for plated steel, so a P mark and no P mark. So there's no P mark on this. So they're actually all different, slightly in their own way. Now this one here has a P mark, and you would see that underneath the bust, the image of the Queen. As we're here, you don't see that. So, like I said, it's so tiny, there's no point in me trying to show you. But trust me, they are there. So, okay. So, and the mint does that on purpose just to make them more collectible. You know, it brings them more revenue and that sort of thing. So, kind of interesting. 2001, no mint mark and a mint mark. Same type of thing. 2003, same thing. Oh, actually, this is kind of interesting here. 2003. Okay. There's a P mark, but she's not wearing a crown. Queen Elizabeth is not wearing a crown. This one has a P mark, but she is wearing a crown. And this one has a Winnipeg mint mark and no crown. So they're all a little bit different. I don't know if you can actually see the difference that she's wearing a crown or not wearing a crown. I don't know if you can see that or not, but anyways, once again, that's the Royal Canadian Mint, just changing it up a bit. Keeps people on their toes. 2005. Well, we have 2 coins from 2005. And that's the reason is because we have the regular beaver for that one. And here we have a commemorative coin with the V. Remember I showed you the V earlier from wartime? And it's got a double date from 45 to 2005. So it's a double date, it's a commemorative coin from 1945 to 2005. So it's just kind of a replica of the original coin from the 40s. I've got lots of those. And, okay, and of course 2006, same thing. P mark, new mint mark, and no P mark. Now the new mint mark, there's a new mint mark at the bottom of the Queen's bust, just down here, just below her neck. Once again, it's too small to show you, but it's there. Now, that pretty much comes to the end of my my coin collection. So it goes all the way up to 2004. So from, like I said, from 1937 to 2024, the coin hasn't really changed that much. It still has the beaver on there, still looks the same. So that's kind of interesting. So that's my nickel collection right there. Now I have a whole bunch of coins right here. I've got lots of, these are all coins circulated from the 1960s. These are circulated coins. 1963, 68, 1966, 1962. And see, this is interesting. Here is a, let me see, it's a round one and a 12-sided one. You can see the round one and the 12-sided one right there. So 63 was the first year they had them round again. Okay, so this one here got in there somehow. That should be in there. That's a double date from 1992. I don't know how that ended up in there. But these are all coins from the 60s. Okay. Put this back in there. Every once in a while that happens. I'll find a coin from the 40s in with my 60s, or a coin from the 60s in with my 40s, or something like that. Can't quite figure out how I do that, but you know, when you get to be my age, your eyesight's not as good as it used to be. Okay, so once again, circulated various dates from the 60s. So pretty much the same thing as what I just showed you. And when I say circulated, that means that this has just come out of pocket change, basically. Here's some coins here. These are uncirculated. These are those V coins again that I was showing you earlier from 2005. Got this from the bank, never been opened. These have never been touched. These are mint condition coins. And I've got a couple of those, I do believe. There's the other one right there. And what have I got here? Double date, 2002. Yeah, these are from 2002. These ones here, got those from the bank as well, never been circulated. And these, what I should be doing is writing the dates down the outside. 2006. And what have I got over here? 2004. Okay, now I got some old coins here. Oh, more of those original V's. These are the steel-plated V's. The chromium steel-plated V's from the 40s. I'll struggle to get this open here for you. There we go. What year? 45. These are all 44, 45. Yep. So these are quite old. You know, I don't use cash as much as I used to, so I don't get as many coins going through my hands as I used to. You know, I use debit and that sort of thing. And that's kind of unfortunate. Okay, these are circulated, but these are those rabbit nickels from 1967, the commemorative 1967 coins. These are nice. I've always liked these. Okay. A lot of times I think about, you know, when I have a coin like this that's this old, you know, who all held it, you know? What all did it buy? You know, like back in, 100 years ago, if you had a nickel from 100 years ago, you could have bought, maybe a loaf of bread or a dozen eggs or a mug of beer. Who knows, right? Could have been somebody's wages for a few hours or something. Sad to say, but it could be true. 1955. So these coins here are circulated all from the 50s, 53. Yeah, so these are all from the 50s. I guess I might not quite have enough to make a roll. I have to count those. Maybe I would have enough to make a roll, but I'll have to count these out. Okay. I've got about 36 rolls or 37 rolls of coins right here. 31. These coins are all from the 1928 up to 1931. So these are all quite old, from 28 to 31. So these are all close to 100 years old. Yeah, got King George V on the back. Now, a lot of these I bought from coin stores. They were circulated. You'd never get something like this going through your usual pocket change, I'm sure. That'd be highly unlikely. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen, but highly unlikely nowadays. Okay, I got a brand new roll of coins here. Not brand new, but they're year 2000. Got these in the bank. Never been circulated, so uncirculated coins from 2000, so 24 years ago. 1967. Once again, but now these ones, they have the rabbit on them. These are the Centennial coins, and they've never been circulated, so these are in beautiful shape. Beautiful shape. Just lovely. And 2005, no crown, circulated P mark, 2005 P mark, no crown. And they're circulated, these ones here, the smokestack, 1751 to 1951. These were a commemorative coin from 1751 to 1951. So they got that smokestack on there. There, got those. Coins from the 50s. These are circulated coins from the 50s. These are uncirculated. No crown, P mark, uncirculated, 2003. That's pretty cool. Excellent shape. Circulated V-Day with the V on there. 2005 commemorative coin. These are same thing. 2005. Now a lot of these ones came through my pocket change. Circulated, no P mark. 2001 crowned. These are from the 40s, from 1940 to 1949. So they're all from the 40s. That's pretty cool. Okay, this here is 19. Oh, the plastic's in the way. It's kind of hard to read. Oh, really hard to read with that plastic in the way there. See if I can just sort of pull that back a little bit and have a closer look with my magnifying glass. Looks like 2008. That's 2008. Okay, 2008. These are from 1922 to 1930. My dad was born in 22. So some of these are 100 years old. And circulated, of course, but in pretty good shape. Very good shape. Circulated 2001. These have a P mark, crowned. She's wearing a crown. There's a P mark on there. Circulated V-Day 2005 commemorative. Got lots of those. And circulated 1967 coins with a rabbit on them. Oh, okay. See, there's these Tomback coins from the 40s. Let's see what the dates are here. Pretty much they're, yeah, 43, 42. I got a 45. Yep. You can see the difference in color. I'll show you the difference in color. I'll do a comparison here for you. Now, of course, one is much newer. Obviously, it's going to, but you can see that the difference in color is just quite striking, actually. Okay, put these back in here. Coins are a lot of fun to collect, but then sometimes I kind of question, why do I do this? Why do I bother? And then what I do with them, I mean, I have to hand them down to somebody. And will that somebody care about them as much as I do? Okay, V-Day again, circulated. Lots of those coins. Okay, these are circulated commemorative coins from 1867 to 1992. Is that what I had over here? That's really small. Let me get my other. Yep. I got one of these. These are handy. These come in real handy. Okay, so 1887 to 1992. Problem is that's just barely going to fit in there. Oh, man. You know what I got to do? I got to get some tape. Tape that up. Because the minute I set it down outside, it's going to spill. Oops. So I'll just tape that a little bit just to hold it in place. There we are. That'll hold that in place. What do we got here? 2007. Circulated commemorative coins. 2007. Don't have, it's only about half full, 2/3 full. Circulated 1937 to 1949. And P mark, no crown, 2003. Uncirculated. Well, that's cool. Never been circulated. 1964, uncirculated. 1964, uncirculated. That's cool to have coins, that age. That's, 64, that's 60 years old at the time of this video. Okay, let me see if I can get this open. There we are. That was a bit of a struggle. I don't really want to handle these too much. Okay, when you handle a coin, you always handle it like that by its sides, but that's That's a beautiful shape, just absolute beautiful shape. Wow, that's nice. You would think that was minted yesterday, and it was minted 60 years ago. There we go. So, my last two, 2003 P mark, once again P for plated, crowned, and we got some circulated V chromium plated steel nickels from 45 to 45, 44 to 45. So the original ones from the wartime. These ones right here. Pretty cool. Okay, well that's it. That's my nickel collection. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be back next time. I guess I'll be doing dimes next time. So, well, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. You take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.